All right, if you're a contractor here in North Carolina, you already know getting licensed can be, well, a real challenge. Today, we're going to zero in on the biggest hurdle of all, the financial requirements. And more importantly, we'll show you the smartest way to get past it.
Let's just put this number out there. $1 million. Yeah, this is the big, scary number that makes getting an unlimited contractor license in North Carolina feel so daunting. But here's the thing. It's not what you think. It's not a price tag. So what on earth does this number actually mean for your business?
Well, it means North Carolina is not messing around. Seriously. The state has the highest contractor bond requirements in the entire nation. Yep, the whole country. This is a super high bar, and it's there for a reason, to make sure only the most stable, well-funded companies are handling those big, important projects. So here's our game plan for today. We'll look at this high financial bar, then break down the two main ways you can meet it. We're going to dive deep into the bond option, help you figure out which path is right for you, see where this all fits in the big picture of getting licensed, and finally give you a clear next step to take. Okay, let's kick things off by really digging into this challenge. Understanding why this requirement is even a thing and who it impacts, that's step one to getting it handled. And listen, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, just remember, you are not alone, not by a long shot. You're one of more than 38,000 active contractors in North Carolina. Think about that. Every single one of them has had to figure out these exact same rules to get their business up and running. Okay, so this brings us to a really, really important decision. A fork in the road, you could say. To meet the state's requirements, you have to pick one of two very different paths. And trust me, the choice you make here, it's going to have a direct impact on your cash flow, how quickly you get licensed, and what you spend each year. So what is this financial requirement anyway? At its core, it's pretty simple. The state just wants to see proof that your business is financially solid enough to finish the jobs you start. That's it. And the good news is they give you two totally different ways to show them you've got what it takes. And here they are, your two options. Path number one is a surety bond. Think of it as the fast lane. You pay an annual fee, and you're good to go. Path number two is using your company's own working capital. The actual cash you have available to run the business. But, and this is a big but, you'll need a CPA to conduct a full-blown audit of your financials, and that can get really expensive and take a long, long time. All right, let's zoom in on that first option, the surety bond. Honestly, for most contractors out there, especially if your business is growing, this is often the most straightforward and money-smart way to get licensed. So North Carolina has this three-tiered system. It's pretty logical, really. The bigger the projects you want to bid on, the bigger the bond requirement. It starts at $175,000 for a limited license and goes all the way up to that $1 million bond we talked about for an unlimited license. Okay, now for the million-dollar question. Literally. You see these giant numbers, right? 500,000, $1 million, and you're probably thinking, there's no way. But relax. You don't actually pay that amount, not even close. You just pay a small percentage of it each year. So, what does that actually cost you? So, here's a look at how that breaks down. The annual cost, or premium, is basically a small slice of the total bond amount, and it's mostly based on your credit score. If you've got excellent credit, you could be looking at a rate of just 1 to 2% a year. So that huge $1 million bond, it doesn't cost $1 million. It might cost you something like $10,000 for the whole year. Now, as you can see, if your credit's just good, the rates are a little higher, but still, it's totally manageable. Okay, so now you get how it works and what it costs. That brings us back to the main event. How do you choose? Which one of these paths is the best fit for your business right now? So, which path should you choose? Should you go with a surety bond, or should you use your audited financials? Well, there's no single right answer for everyone. It really truly depends on your specific situation. Let's make this easy. A surety bond is probably your best move if you're a newer contractor just getting started, or maybe your working capital goes up and down with the seasons, or hey, maybe you just need to get licensed like yesterday. It's also the go-to option if you want to dodge that massive CPA audit bill. We're talking $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 a year just for the audit. Over 5 years, that's a lot of money. It could be up to $75,000. A bond is usually way less than that. Now, on the flip side, using your own financial statements makes total sense in a few cases. For instance, if you're already paying for an annual audit for, say, bank financing, you're already spending the money, so you might as well use it.
It's also a great option if your company is sitting on a ton of stable, consistent working capital all year round. And finally, for you unlimited license folks, it's simple math. If your bond premium quote comes back higher than what you'd pay for the audit, then yeah, using your financials is the cheaper way to go.
All right, we have spent a lot of time on this one decision, and for good reason. But now, let's zoom out a bit. Let's see where this one important piece fits into the whole puzzle of getting your North Carolina contractor license. When you look at the whole journey, it's actually a pretty clear 6-step roadmap. You start with the basics, right? You choose your classification, you prove your experience, you pass your exams. And then bam, you hit step 4. That's our part. That's meeting the financial requirement. Once you clear that hurdle, you're pretty much on the home stretch. Just submit the application and stay on top of your continuing education each year.
And that's really the key thing to remember here. Meeting this financial requirement can feel like this massive, intimidating wall, but in reality, it's just one step in a very clear, very manageable process. So please, don't let this one step be the thing that holds you back.
So there you have it. We've looked at the challenge, we've laid out your options, and we've put it all on the roadmap. So now what? Well, let's talk about what you can do right now. Look, if there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. For so many contractors, especially if you're new or your business is in growth mode, a surety bond isn't just some other option. It's often the smartest, the fastest, and the most money-efficient way to meet North Carolina's high standards without locking up your hard-earned cash.
And if a surety bond sounds like it might be the right call for you, your next step couldn't be easier. You can get a free quote with no obligation at all in just a few minutes and see exactly what it would cost. Just head over to buysuretybonds.com, get this handled so you can get back to doing what you do best, building.